So today we're going to be checking out Hugo Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum. No, I'm not talking about Boss Bottled Intense Eau de Parfum. I'm talking about Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum. It's kind of confusing, but this is the new 2020 release. It is available on discounters at Fragrance X. That's where I scooped this one up. So this is one that you can now grab at a discount. So I figured, hey, might as well do a review on it because I was pretty curious. I'm not going to lie. I picked it up for a reason. I'm like, okay, this could either go one of two ways. Either I'm going to like it or I'm not going to like it. It's pretty cut and dry there. So I'm going to review this one today. I'm going to tell you how it smells, how it performs, when you can wear it, and ultimately if I think this one is worth picking up. And if you guys like videos like this, fragrance reviews, top 10s, make sure you get subscribed to the channel down below. I really do appreciate your support there. And also, like I said, this will be linked down below to Fragrance X. So you can grab this one at a discount for yourself if you're interested. So let's go and jump right into the review, starting off with how this fragrance smells. Now, when we first spray it on, you'll notice right away that it smells like Boss Bottled. Okay, so it's not, completely foreign to the line. It's not like they completely just ventured off and did their own thing and put it in a Boss Bottled bottle and used the name. It's got similarities to the original, so that's a good start. You get that nice apple in the opening. Smells amazing. I love Boss Bottled EDT, EDP, whatever. I love Boss Bottled Intense as well. Nice apple in the opening, a little bit of a spicy kick as well. But what is interesting is you get this nice, spicy, sexy, warm cardamom note. I love cardamom in fragrances, and this one utilizes it pretty well. You get cardamom, you get a little bit of cinnamon, you get a little bit of black pepper. All of that is adding this nice, warm, spicy undertone, along with that apple, the nice fruity apple that you get in the original. So it's a really nice, pleasant to the nose combination here. Don't let the spices or pepper think that it's going to be too strong for you. It's really pretty smooth and well blended. It just has a little bit of a kick to it. And immediately when I sprayed this one on, I knew it was reminding me of something. And if you go and look on Fragrantica, you'll see some people are kind of echoing the same thing to some extent here. And this one does get compared a little bit to La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent, which I find interesting, and I do agree with to some extent. The main similarity that's going to be coming from is the cardamom. I mean, the cardamom in the opening of this one is kind of reminiscent of the cardamom in La Nuit de l'Homme. That opening smells amazing. This one here is going to be much more fruity, much more fresh, whereas La Nuit de l'Homme is going to be much more powdery. So there are some slight similarities, mainly coming from the cardamom, but other than that, it's a pretty fair stretch to say that these are very similar or even clones of each other, because they're not. This one really shares a small similarity to La Nuit de l'Homme, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty much kind of sticking with the Boss Bottled DNA line. This also gets compared to Stronger With You and Stronger With You Freeze. Don't really pick up on that all that much. I believe that's coming from the chestnut, which is in here, which I do get a little bit of, but I think it varies quite a bit from those others. I would say if you were to compare it to one thing a little bit, it would be La Nuit de l'Homme, just to some extent because of the cardamom, but other than that, they're completely separate. As this one dries down, you get some musk, you get a little bit of vetiver, but although it's not really all that prominent in the base, mainly that musk. Still some of that cardamom, the nice apple, just what you would expect from Boss Bottle, basically. This one just has a little bit more of a warm, spicy kick. Obviously, the apple and the cinnamon are very conducive of the rest of the line, so that's normal there. The difference is the chestnut and the cardamom. But it does really add a nice spicy kick and variety to this fragrance, which I like. Again, cardamom is an amazing note. It gives a bit of this oriental feel. It's kind of warm, sexy vibe. It smells amazing. I honestly really like this fragrance. Again, going into it, I'm like, okay, it's another Boss Bottled flanker. What more do we need, really? But this honestly impressed me. Again, it smells great. I'm just going to do a spray on my hand here. It's an addicting one, I'm not going to lie. When I first got this one in and gave it a smell, I had low hopes because I'm like, okay, what's this going to be? But then I smelled it and I'm like, hey, that's actually really, really solid. The cardamom comes through nicely, mixing with the cinnamon kick, the apple, of course. That chestnut in there, a little bit giving it just this kind of roasted chestnut smell. But other than that, I mean, really solid. Now, I'm not saying that this is something that's completely new and completely different and something that's going to necessarily blow your mind, because it's not, right? It's still a flanker. It's still something that's very familiar and is not only familiar to the other Boss Bottled fragrances, but also to another very, very popular designer scent that's been out for over 10 years now. I don't want to be mistaken there. I mean, it's still a familiar type of scent, but it's a good smelling one. It's pleasant. I mean, this one would appeal to a lot of people, especially if it's in a department store. Someone walks by, they pick it up. They're going to really, really love how this one smells, and people around you are going to like it as well. Talking about versatility and when you can wear it, it's going to be a very versatile scent. And honestly, in terms of seasons or weather, it could be basically an all year round scent. Get a little bit of fruitiness from the apple and bergamot up top, and just this nice warm spiciness from the cardamom, from the cinnamon, and everything else. If I had to choose months in specific, it's going to be the transitionals. So fall, be a really great, phenomenal fall fragrance. And also spring, early to mid-spring, this one would kill it as well. Once you get into summertime, it's going to be a bit too warm. And really, once you get into wintertime, I'm going to want something heavier and have more depth. This one still does have quite a bit of that freshness to where when it's really cold, getting into single digits or, really low temperatures, I'm going to want something with more depth than this one. So the transitional seasons are going to work great. Talking about performance here, longevity on my skin has been a solid 7-8 hours. Really good, especially for an eau de parfum. That's really about what you want, kind of in that mid-range performance tier, I would say. Not anything that's going to last for a super long time, but it's also not gone within a couple hours, so I can respect that 7-8 hour mark. Projection is okay. It's not going to fill a room. It's not going to push out super far, but it will get you noticed. So performance overall is really solid from this one, and honestly, about what you would expect. Quality-wise, it's honestly pretty good quality. Once you spray it on in the opening, it's going to have that nice spicy kick a little bit, but it's still relatively smooth. Following that into the dry down, it stays smooth, it stays warm. It's not a niche quality type of scent. Obviously, you're not really expecting that. And it's also not a super cheap smelling fragrance either. It's on par with those mid-range designers. I know these usually go for a little bit under the mid-range price when they're on fully discount. Normally, I believe you can get these into the 30s and lower 40s mostly. Mid-range I would say is $50, $55, maybe even $60. So it's definitely on par with those. Solid quality all around. Can't really complain there. Again, it's going to be a very versatile scent, something you'd wear for a lot of situations, and something overall that's going to be a great, great compliment getter, and that's going to be very mass-pleasing. My girlfriend gave this one a spray, and she loved it. She really liked how this fragrance smells right off the bat. It's not one that had to grow on her. It's not one that took a while for her to really start to like. She loved it instantly. And what does that mean? That means most women out there, when they smell this on you, whether it be in passing or whatever, they're probably going to think it smells good right away, which means you're probably going to get quite a few compliments from this one. Very mass-pleasing type of scent DNA. So to go and start to wrap this one up, my final thoughts on Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum. I like it. I think it's good. Is it my favorite release of the year? Probably not. There's a few others that I like more, but I think in terms of just a pleasant smelling fragrance, it's nice. And again, this year has been all about the Eau de Parfum releases just because they're easy. This year has been rough for everyone, even these fragrance brands. That's why we haven't had that many new releases for obvious reasons. So a lot of people are just slapping out an Eau de Parfum, and I get it. That's fine. I think this one is solid though. It smells great. It's going to be a great compliment getter. And again, you can already get it on discounters to save yourself some money. It's definitely worth a pickup. You guys will enjoy this one, I would say. A lot of you will. If you're not a big fan of the Boss Bottled fragrances to begin with, maybe skip this one. But if you like the line and you want a bit of an oriental cardamom twist on this DNA, it's really well done, and it's honestly pretty good. A lot better than I was expecting. So guys, that's going to do it for me. That was my thoughts on the new Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum. Let me know what you think down below. And remember, if you want to grab a bottle for yourself, there will be a link down below as well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.